Chief William Penn in Winston-Salem said that he was going to arrest adults that stood around and watched the fight that happened Monday in Lineback Park, which is where those teenagers had agreed to meet up to fight and ended up being a fatal situation with 2 of them passing away. He said he was going to be arresting the adults that were standing around watching the fight. Huh? Sir, how can you charge them for that? Really is my main question. And is that really the hill you want to go to glory off it? That we are going to say you stood around and watched the fight. Now, if these were grown folks, that would probably be different. But for young adults, I mean, somebody who just turned 18 and maybe 19 years old, so them doing teenagery things, you gonna arrest them? I think this is a little bit across the board, okay? It's giving priorities are not in place, because what realistically were you expecting them to do, and has that expectation been made clear before you start trying to arrest people? Because if you say you should have called the police, have you made that clear to them? Going forward, I'm going to arrest you because you should have been calling the police and not staying at the scene. That might be okay if you go ahead and make that a public announcement. But for you to say I'm going to arrest you for being somewhere that you legally had a right to be, how you can't enforce that. Because you can't enforce the expectation that you have that they have not been notified that you have. That sounds like a problem to me personally. That's where my train of thought is. Did you express that to me that I could not be in a public place watching people fight? If they want to fight, they can fight. Why I got to step in? That if you have not expressed that because you expect an 18-year-old or a 19-year-old to know that, because you can't charge them juveniles because they definitely don't know that. You should not stay around. And does that fall on the parents? I absolutely would agree with you on that. But my issue is, did you express the expectation that you want to legally now enforce? That's the question I have, Chief. Now, 18-year-old Joe Gamble Tolliver has been arrested and charged, but he has not been charged with taking anybody's life. He has been charged with felony child abuse and felony riot. Now, it has been indicated that the other 5 people that were injured, which was 4 girls, which is 14, 15, 17, and 19, and then an 18-year-old boy, they were all injured. They are expected to all survive, I do believe, at this point. It sounds like 1 or more of them was actually involved in doing shooting, but it sounds like that they're one of the minors, and that is why their information has not been released that they will be potentially charged. So who is actually responsible for taking the life of 16-year-old Daniel Milan and 17-year-old Urbe Medina? Who is responsible for taking their lives if you charged him with something else that has nothing to do with taking people's lives? Why are we not focusing on that instead of trying to force young adults into doing something we've never discussed as an expectation of them?